first one is just to ask you about how you're spending your downtime right now. I mean, I've been asking, feels like hundreds of people about that right now. How are you dealing with this
Oh,
coronavirus pandemic
trying
right
to
now, just being holed up?
just trying to stay in the routine of things, you know. Me and the few guys that are still here, including my roommate Kevin Cops and Phil Subuhar, we'll go up to a few places and try to work out the best we can. You know, I mean, we don't have a whole lot to choose from, but we're just trying to stay in shape, go out and run some, just trying to stick together. You know,
Push ups and sit ups in your apartment or wherever you are?
pretty much, yes, sir. Just the basics.
um, the NCAA obviously extremely busy right now with what they need to do in terms of what they vote on, and we saw a vote come through a few weeks back that an additional year of eligibility would be granted to student athletes in spring sports. When you heard that news, did you think it was the right move?
To be honest, I feel like it was. I feel like it was the right move. You know, everything going on, everything's complicated right now, and you can come at it from several different angles. You know, but uh, I think from a fairness standpoint to those guys, you know, because you think about it, you don't get many years of college athletics. You know, these are the things you're going to move on with for the rest of your life. You're going to look back 20 years from now and remember the moments that whenever you played, you know, for the Arkansas Razorbacks or whatever college you may be attending. And, you know, those are the memories you're going to cherish forever. So I think that from that standpoint, that it was a good decision.
Tell me again who you're staying with. I think you said Kevin Cops and maybe one other guy.
Kevin Cops and grad assistant Phil Siguhar, he's in head of the hitting analytics for the baseball team.
So, having said that, I mean, you look back at the season, 11-5 was your record in the shortened season. You want to relish these moments as much as you can, and with the season cut short like that, what have been your conversations with some of your teammates and Kevin, who's been close to you there as you live with him?
You know, we're just trying to wrap our heads around everything right now. You know, I mean, going from as busy of a schedule as we have to literally not having hardly anything to do besides the online schoolwork, and then we're just trying to keep ourselves busy, and you know, just we're just trying to stay in the groove of things until more news is announced about the future. And we're just trying to take it one step at a time, trying to plan things out, play out scenarios in our head about what we're going to do, and you know, just trying to keep positive about it.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn was pretty emotional. DVH was pretty emotional when he talked about that last conversation he had with you guys in person as the season was cut short. Can you kind of reflect on that conversation with DVH and what you saw on the faces of your teammates when you heard that the season was going to be cut short?
You know, it was pretty tough. You know, I could tell by the coaches' faces that you know, this wasn't ideal. This wasn't what really anybody wanted or expected. Um, you know, and at that time we didn't know for sure if guys were going to get another year of eligibility. So my immediate thought was, if we don't get eligibility, what are the guys that, you know, the seniors, the guys that aren't returning? You know, there's going to be guys that, you know, that turned out to be the last game that I may ever play with them. And just immediately my thoughts went to that, and you know, about the future for some guys. And it's just kind of it's kind of overwhelming, you know, just a whole lot of different emotions coming about at one time. You know, just like I said, doing everything you can to stay positive about the situation, but at the same time, you know, like, hey, where do we go from here? And you know, I was mainly thinking about the guys that may not ever get to play in a Razorback uniform again, and you know, just that's not the way that we wanted to end it. But
Yeah. And you look back on some of the moments of this season, you guys obviously had a stretch where it was really difficult, but you bounced back, and the way you closed the shortened season was impressive. And for you in particular, kind of take me back to that last game you had. You were kind of riding high there, a 2 for 4 day, 3 RBIs against Grand Canyon. You hit 302 on the season, this shortened season. So, how would you sum up your season, your performance, a season after leading the Razorbacks and hitting?
oh, it's baseball. It's going to have its highs. It's going to have its lows. A wise man once told me that it's not about how you come off the hills. It's about how you come out of the troughs. And um, it was odd, because this is the first year that I didn't compete in the fall because of having shoulder surgery. So jumping right back into the swing of things is kind of hard to pick up at first. You're working out some kinks, getting back into the swing of seeing some of the best arms in college baseball. And just trying to, I don't know, baseball's a game of adjustments, and just looking for the right adjustment as the season went on, and I feel like I was starting to piece things together there towards the end. And I mean, yeah, that's disappointing that I didn't get to keep carrying that over into more games, but you still take the adjustments that you made and use them in the future. So I still feel like I improved and got better.
Yeah, how healthy were you there at the end of the season?
I was getting there. The surgery that I had kind of prevented me from throwing full speed, and right now I have no issues swinging a bat or anything like that. It's just coming back to where I can throw full speed is the only thing setting me back really right now, and um, and that's coming along too. That's coming along just fine. The it's just a long road. It's just a long road to recovery, and I know that I'll get there. I'm not worried about that either.
It's hard to put a percentage on it, but maybe 80, 90% as far as your arm right now.
It's really hard to say. I mean, from what I can tell, I've just been playing catch with my roommates or who that I do go and work out with on occasion. I just play some catch here and there because I mean, we don't know when the next time we're going to compete against someone else is going to be, and I'm just trying to take it slow, not try to rush anything back. No setbacks at this point.
Yeah, it kind of impacts the way you train right now, like whether you should long toss, things like that, right?
It really does, yes. Like I said, we don't know when we're going to compete again, but just staying on top of the skills used for baseball, being the fundamentals, fielding, throwing, catching, hitting, just staying on top of that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we still try to train when we can, weight room wise, and I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot of not a whole lot of places we can do that right now, but we're trying to stay on top of it. The coaching staff and the Blaine Kinsley, the strength conditioning coach, has been giving us advice when he can, and just playing the hand we're dealt right now.
Add me to the hundreds of people asking you this question. What feedback are you getting as far as the Major League Draft right now, and knowing that the draft is going to be condensed, it looks like? I mean, it's so up in the air right now, but what feedback are you getting, and where's your head right now, whether you would accept whatever offer you may get, knowing that, if you don't go in the top 5 rounds, then you can only sign up to $20,000. At least that's what they're putting on the table right now.
Right, and that's what I heard too. Is that there's a $20,000 or $25,000 signing cap for free agents or whoever doesn't get drafted. And to be honest, I haven't heard a final decision on how many rounds there's even going to be. I feel like it could be anywhere. But I mean, as of right now, I don't have an answer for what the future holds for me, whether I'm going to return and play another year as a Razorback or if I'm going to carry on with my professional career. Either way, I feel like I'm in a good place, and offer whether I sign or whether I come back as a Razorback, I know that my path as a Razorback has been phenomenal, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Okay, give me an idea what it's like to watch Heston Kjerstad hit every day.
Oh man, Heston Kjerstad. Yeah, I'm locker buddies with him too, so I sit right like his locker is literally right next to mine, so I get a full dose of Heston Kjerstad every day. He's just a funny guy. He's a good guy, but I mean, I know he shows up every day and works as hard as anyone, and I mean, he's set an example for anyone to ever wear a uniform. To be honest, I mean, he's just good at it. He's good at what he does, and he knows it. And it's just fun to watch. To be honest, it's just there's not many more ways to put it than people just stop what they're doing and watch him do what he does, and there aren't many better at it.
One final one, because you come from such a big time baseball family. What has your dad told you that he's thinking at this point during this whole pandemic that's going on? It's just something that's unprecedented. I mean, what
Right.
talks have you had with him about this?
he he's kind of rattled about everything right now too. I mean, he's retired and raising my 11-year-old sister as it is, but he's having trouble finding things to do now too, because he can't come up here and watch us play on the weekends or the midweeks whenever he would come up here. So he's just trying to find things to do. And when it comes to just straight advice, he's just told me to keep doing what I'm doing. He knows that he trusts that I'm smart enough to stay on top of all the things that I need to stay on top of in order to be successful. And he's just like what any good coach would do, just good leader.
Hey, man, thanks for the time. I appreciate it. And all the best to you, man. You're a heck of a player. And whatever you decide on the draft, we're thinking about you. And Matt, thanks for the time. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you very much. You have a
Okay.
good day.
We'll see.